think let's do something a little bit lighter. Um, I'm gonna let's do a little bit of a video reaction. So let's do a little change over here. Okay. So there was a video that I saw that I saved just for today, specifically for today. And hang on a second. So I don't know how many of you in chat are like me, but I, at least from an older school perspective, love comics. I absolutely love comics. And one of my first and all-time favorite superheroes is Wolverine. He was my first superhero that I was introduced to and has continued to this day to remain my favorite. I cannot wait for the Deadpool and Wolverine movie to come out because I also love Deadpool. So I saw this video. So this is a guy by the name of Scott. He has this channel, Kentucky Ballistics, where he kind of does all kinds of funny and wacky little things involving guns. And, basically, he will do everything from trying out really crazy guns to, like, testing how will, sorry, I don't know if you guys are hearing the background. It's like I said yesterday, apparently my neighbors think they live in the Fast and the Furious movies, and so they drive around with these huge mufflers that are just loud as hell. So hopefully guys didn't hear that. But yeah, he does all sorts of like firearms related interesting videos. He'll bring out like 4-bore rifles and he shot us a giant gun safe with a punt gun and all kinds of stuff. And this one is, what would actually happen from the clip or from the thumbnail. It looked like what would actually happen if you shot Wolverine, someone with metal bones or metal covered bones, with a gun. Would you be able to stop him? And we'll see. He might be taking out the healing factor part of it, but we're going to see. So let me pause this and bring up the desktop audio bit. There we go. And so let's check this out. This is probably going to be interesting. And 3, 2, 1.
Oh, dang it. Oh, what are you doing, Scooter? I'm trying to eat my lunch. I'm having a really hard time, okay? Okay, well, just put the claws down. Seems pretty simple. I can't.
Put myself over here.
I've been saving up all my life, and I finally got claws implanted. First of all, why would you do that? And second of all, what doctor would do that? First of all, they are stinking awesome. And second of all, some guy found on Craigslist. So you can't retract them at all. Nope. Permanently out. Gotcha. Listen, I got a really big favor to ask you, okay? I gotta pee real bad.
Go, no. No. Scott, please say no. Please say no.
No. Come on, no. Please. Scott. Yeah, I don't care. No, I'm not doing that. Please, I gotta pee! Good luck, buddy. Ah! Now I understand his pain! This is why he's always so angry!
Actually, I'm gonna have to. Yeah, let's do this. Okay, this is bad. Good night, Deadass. Thank you for stopping by, and I hope you come back again soon. Good night.
Angry! What's up, everybody? My name is Scott, and you're watching Kentucky Ballistics. And this is what it would...
Oh, Scott, what is up with that hair? What is up? That's not even Wolverine's hair. Oh, Scott. I better get an explanation for this.
look like if you ordered Wolverine off Wish. I am very excited about
I'll
today's
accept
video.
that.
This has taken a very long time to put together, and I don't think the timing could be any better with the new Wolverine and Deadpool movie coming out. So today I have an actual Wolverine torso. This is real adamantium. Well, you don't believe me? Well, here, look at this. Here's a magnet. I'll put this on his rib cage. Stick it on a rib. And it will even stick to his skull. So today I have several different firearms ranging from small all the way up to very large and some very special ammunition.
I really would like to know, and I hope he tells us, what metal that actually is, because obviously, well, not adamantium, different metals would be able to resist against different calibers much differently. I mean, I'm really curious what because I'm not even sure what would be the closest type of metal available in reality to adamantium. The only thing I can think of would be maybe tungsten? I believe there isn't. I hope he tells us what metal this actually is.
And we're going to see just how tough Wolverine is and if you would even stand a chance. I am very excited to get started, so let's go get set up and get to it. So up first is something that would probably just make him angry. This is a rough...
Well, titanium is no stronger than steel is. Titanium is just more lightweight. It's a lightweight version of steel. Tungsten, as I understand it, is denser than steel and stronger than steel, as I understand it. I hope I'm remembering my metallurgy correctly. But titanium is no different than normal steel. It's just lighter weight, which makes it very useful for building, as a material for building various things that you might need steel for. But it does make it any tougher, though.
Rider 22 long rifle. It's rather big, but it shoots a very small round. This is a 40 grain 22
It's a little
long
baby
rifle.
round. I love the slow-mo. Yeah.
All right.
I think I could see the bullet on there.
Okay, so we have a hit right here, and if you look closely, you can see that that round actually
It's still there.
splattered and broke up on his sternum. So in that case right there, I'd be running. So that 22 long rifle is literally nothing. So now we're going to step it up to 5.7. This is a Ruger 5.7.
Ooh, a 5.7.
With some 40 grain 5.7 by 28. It's a fast, mean little round. Here we go. Ooh.
Did he actually get the rib cage?
Wow. So I managed to hit his rib. Look at that. It exploded inside there. It hit that rib and just shattered. Old Wolverine here would literally just laugh at you. So now we're going to step it up to 9mm. I have a Canic TTI Combat. This thing is absolutely awesome. And I'm loaded up with some Underwood ammo, 147 grain 9mm. Oh, it's getting hot. I do not know how anyone with hair does this. If I was Wolverine, I'd totally shave my head. Here we
He
go.
has. It grows back.
Oof.
Right in the chest plates.
I think I hit in the same hole as the 22 long rifle. I was accidentally accurate, and that round hit and broke up, and you can see the jacket is right there towards his collarbone. So at this point, I think I would be reconsidering going to combat with Wolverine. I would make.
Fun fact about Wolverine's hair, because of Wolverine's healing factor, for those that are not comic book aficionados, Wolverine has a healing factor, which means he can heal from any injury, any disease, any illness, extremely quickly, as in within minutes. This healing factor also does apply to his hair because in one comic book, when he shaved his head to go undercover, by the end of the issue, which was only over the course of maybe a day or so, his hair had already mostly grown back. So his healing factor also applies to his hair. So he would be able to shave his head in the hot sun. He would just kind of have to deal with it.
Maybe try to talk it out with him, but he's going to be pretty angry at this point. So up next, we're going
Wolverine's
to
always
step it
angry.
up to good old 45 ACP. But if I'm going to use 45 ACP against Wolverine, I'm going to make sure I got two 45 ACPs. This is
A
my
double.
Googler 1911, and I'll be loaded up with 2 rounds of 45.
Oh boy, we've seen him use this in the past. This thing is not very accurate. He might end up shooting the table instead of the dummy. Let's see what happens.
ACP. Let's see how he likes this. Oh.
Wow, right in the same spot. That was impressive.
Okay, both of those hit in the same spot as the 9 mil. And there is smoke coming out of here. Nothing has happened to his sternum, except it is really getting a lot of lead buildup. Look at all those jackets in there. That is nuts. And really, we still haven't factored in his healing factor. I mean, not only are we not doing any damage to him, these are just flesh wounds. He would just heal up and it would be no big deal. If the good old 45 ACP can't defeat Wolverine, I don't know what can. I think it's time to get a little more serious. Up next, I have a Glock 40 chambered in 10 millimeter, and I have some Underwood ammo,
Here.
180 grain 10 millimeter. You definitely don't want that to happen. If
Boy, I've never seen him do that before. That's the first time I think I've ever seen him drop a magazine. Oh boy, Scott. He must be really scared of Wolverine.
you're in a battle with Wolverine, that right there, you'd be done. I mean, I was just trying to show you that as a scenario. Totally did it on purpose. It's just hair. It's all in my eyes and I can't see. Let's aim a little lower this time and see what happens. Oh, okay.
Is it gonna hit it? Well, it didn't hit a bone, so.
All right, bub. Looks like we finally struck oil. He would definitely heal up from that. Oh my goodness, he has silver blood. Wow. Well, that's weird. Well, you know, over time, that adamantium actually becomes toxic. It starts kind of hurting him. So maybe that's a result of it.
I is what if he shoot up front? What do you mean? What do you mean by shoot up front? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Cause he'd been shooting him directly in the chest plate so far. So I'm not sure what you mean by upfront. Um, because the thing is like he was saying, even if he doesn't hit one of the bones, uh, Wolverine's got a healing factor, so he'd recover from a gunshot wound in seconds anyway. But I really love the fact that Scott kind of knows his Wolverine lore about how the adamantium is over decades of it being bonded to his skeleton has sort of become to toxic to him. Point the gun right at the ball. Ah, I see what you mean. So it's possible, because I haven't watched this video before, and this is the first time I'm watching it. It's possible that may be one of his tests. Maybe he will walk right up to him and do a point blank shot on on dummy torso. We'll see. He may decide to do that exactly, which will be interesting to see. So, but I mean, I think it's just great that he's like, I don't know if he did research into the lore of Wolverine or if he's a Wolverine fan like I am. That it's great that he knows this stuff. It's so cool.
Being in his body too long. Silver blood. Huh. It still didn't make it all the way through him. It stopped on his back rib. It hit and splattered inside him. So he would heal up from that just fine, and eventually his body would just push out those lead shards. And oh my goodness, he's already stopped bleeding. It's not looking too good for us non-mutants. And if you are also a
Mm-hmm.
non-mutant such as myself and you enjoy this content, you need to do yourself a favor and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future awesome content. And make sure you hit that bell for notifications. All these rounds have done absolutely nothing to Mr. Wolverine over there. So now
Yep.
it's time to step it up to the old Glock 50 cal. This is my Gun Crafter Industries 50 GI, and I have some 275 grain 50 GI rounds. Take this, Logan! I'm thinking, no, that's not it. Oh, I hit him right here,
Yeah.
and that actually just kind of clipped off of his rib. And it's not back there. Up next, I have a gun that even Deadpool himself would be jealous of. This is a Magnum Research Desert Eagle 50AE Suppressed.
I saw I saw him shoot this gun in a previous video. This gun is insane. It is so quiet with that suppressor, and it's incredibly hard to suppress a 50 caliber pistol. I watched him use this in a previous video. This this pistol is so quiet, he didn't even need to wear hearing protection when firing it. The suppressor was so good and he was so quiet, he didn't even need to wear hearing protection to fire it. He was perfectly fine. Oh yeah, yeah, the suppressor is 100% bigger than the pistol. But it works. It quiets the sound so much that it it you know, I don't know if you've ever fired guns before. They're loud. They're loud. You need hearing protection, otherwise you get that ringing in your ears, which can, be caused by tinnitus. He doesn't even have to wear hearing protection when he fires this weapon because the suppressor deadens the noise so significantly. It's incredible to see.
And I'll be loaded up with some subsonic 450
Hello.
grain 50AE. Chimichangas! Oh! Looks like I hit right here.
Mattered.
And we got in between those ribs.
Okay.
And oh, wow. Okay. So Deadpool may be onto something packing around Desert Eagles because We made it between those two ribs, and then back here, we hit this rear rib, and you can see it's bent. And then the bullet actually made it all the way out the back. He may have a little trouble breathing after that one. I don't know how you set an adamantium rib. Does someone just like hit him in the back with a sledgehammer? Like, how does that work? The Desert Eagle actually did quite a bit of damage to old Wolverine, so now we're gonna try out something a little bit more powerful than that. This is a Smith & Wesson Performance Center 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum, and this is going to be loaded up with some Underwood ammo, 350 grain 500 Magnum. Okay.
This kills bears. This, by the way, this is a, if I'm not mistaken, this is a bear stopping round. This will stop a bear. So this is a big bullet.
Oh!
Okay, I could be crazy, but it looked like it just, whoops, I hate when I do that. It looked like it just stopped. It looked like it just stopped dead in his torso. Like when he shot it, it looked like it didn't go. I'll play it again. It looked like it stopped in his torso. That could just be because of the flow, but it looked like it stopped dead.
Hit right here. Looks like we managed to just kind of clip that rib and go in between.
Oh, so is the plume.
Oh, wow, we actually have an exit hole. We made it in between these two ribs back here, it looks like. But still, I don't really feel like we would be doing much to Wolverine at this point. He would heal super fast, and then he'd be turning you into a shish kebab. We gotta try something else. That is pretty much as large as we can go with handguns, so now we are gonna step it up to rifles. Because let's be honest, if you were going to war against Wolverine, you would definitely take a rifle over a handgun. So the first rifle we have is an AR-15 chambered in 5.56, and I have a 20-round mag loaded with 2 rounds of Underwood ammo 5.56. Okay, let's give him one down low, one up top.
Okay, see what he did. Okay, well, it's obviously where no bones are. Oh, I couldn't tell what it did.
Wolverine would eat your 5.56 for breakfast. So he got hit right here, and that did a little bit of damage. It did go out the back, and I'm sure he had a tummy ache from that, but he'd heal up pretty quick. And even right here, we hit the sternum / rib right there, and it looks like it broke up all on that sternum. And he probably got some shrapnel into his lung, but I don't think he would care. That 5.56 did absolutely nothing. And if I was going to pick between that and this next rifle, I would totally go with this. This is an Ohio Ordnance H-Car 30-06. And I have a 20-round mag loaded up with some Underwood ammo, 165 grain Accupon 30-06. This rifle most definitely is suitable for battling Wolverine.
That's a big gun. That's definitely a big gun, chat.
Give me one down low. Oh! Ah, he definitely felt that one.
You might have been too off on that one. That one was pretty low.
So it looks like 30-06 out of an H-car would definitely cause a little more damage to Wolverine. We hit right there, and you can see we have quite a bit of internal damage, and right here you could really see some damage. Looks like we did manage to hit his rib. It has a little bit of a bend to it, but we still have an exit hole. It looks like it went around it, and then we definitely have an exit hole down here. That would definitely slow him down, but I think at some point he would probably still catch up to you. I don't care what superpowers you have, I would not want to be hit with this rifle regardless. This is a CZ 550 bolt-action safari rifle chambered in 416 Rigby, aka 416 Honey Badger, because this thing don't care about nothing. This is a 350 grain hot core, and I think this is going to cause quite a bit of damage to
This is gonna hurt.
Wolverine over there.
Yes, I have. I've fired many different guns before. I've fired pistols. I've fired rifles. I've even had the opportunity to fire vehicle-mounted weapons. So yes, I have fired. I have fired a fair amount of guns in my life. So I'm not an expert. I don't claim to be a firearms expert by any means, but I do have something of an understanding when it comes to the weapons. No, I have not fired a tank gun. No, that I have not done.
Gonna give it to him right in the sternum. Oh!
Oh, I think you might have been a bit low there, Scott.
All right, tell you what. Let's give him one more, but a little bit lower. Oh my goodness! Wolverine down!
Huh. That would
So what I failed to
definitely
mention
hurt.
was those 416 Rigby rounds were actually a compound of vibranium and adamantium. And as you can see here, we did quite a bit of damage. We actually made it.
Really? You're gonna pretend like those bullets were made from the same stuff that Captain America's shield was made out of? I guess for people that are only familiar with the MCU, the original Captain America's shield in the comic books was actually made from a blend of adamantium and vibranium. The reason why they did only vibranium, why they only did vibranium in the MCU is because at the time the MCU came out, Marvel still did not have the rights to any of the X-Men properties. They still resided with Fox. Fox still held all the rights for the X-Men properties, and amongst those was the fictional material adamantium. So Marvel was not able to utilize adamantium in any of its movies until after it bought out Fox several years ago, after Endgame had already come out. So that's why Captain America's shield is only made of vibranium, and it's not the traditional adamantium vibranium mixture. So a little bit of comic book nerd history there for you.
Through his rib cage, put a hole right through it. And we also hit right here. Let's roll old Wolverine over. Oh,
Aye.
okay. Yep. That's not looking too good. Right here in the back, we are missing a pretty big chunk. Actually, it's right here. It goes right there. I don't believe we managed to hit any ribs. But we did hit his shoulder blade, and it is all kinds of bent. Oh my goodness, look behind there. That is all kinds of nasty. Okay, well, again, in this situation, I mean, I know he has healing powers, but is it going to heal up around this and he's just going to have a big old metal shoulder blade sticking out of his back for the rest of his life now?
I mean, I know Scott's having fun with this, and he knows it's not the same thing, but I mean, the whole concept is adamantium is unbreakable. It is it is the strongest metal in the Marvel Universe. It is unbreakable with the exception of another object being made out of adamantium, and even then it's not a certainty. Or, there's a couple of, the mystical type metals and stuff that are not quote unquote naturally occurring. So while it might, slip between his ribs or something, it wouldn't blow out his shoulder blade like that. It would just probably ricochet around inside of him and really hurt. Um, but again, so I'm kind of really curious what metal was used for the skeleton in the stomach. I'm guessing it's just steel. I'm guessing they just used a steel, regular steel, to make up the bones, and that's it. But even still, considering what level Scott had to go to with the weapons they chose, I mean, how high he had to go before he actually started doing damage. I mean, that's impressive all on its own.
Would definitely need Colossus to knock that back into place for him. So I know what you've been saying this entire video. Scott, there's only one way to possibly take out Wolverine, and that's an adamantium bullet, and that's aiming at his upper region. If it were me...
Well, now here's the question. Are you talking about injured, or are we talking about catastrophically injured? Because he can still be injured by anything, but his healing factor makes it so that he will heal up almost instantaneously. So he can be injured. But if you're talking about like life threatening, uh, the well, there have been a couple of times where the comic books nerfed his healing factor. Either it became severely overtaxed because he was injured so severely over an extended period of time, his healing factor sort of short circuited because it got overloaded. And it took some time for it to get back to normal, during which time his healing was significantly reduced. They actually did, quote unquote, kill him off a few years back. Again, his healing factor was removed entirely. And they actually did a full-on series I think it was called The Death of Wolverine, where he was trying to deal with this, and, he ended up wearing a set of a bladed armor to protect him so he could still continue to do superhero stuff. But, the final issue, which quote unquote killed him, is and honestly, I think even with his healing factor, this might have killed him anyway, he ended up getting covered in liquid adamantium so significantly, he basically turned into a statue. Just like a blob type statue. It's like it was a vaguely human shape with claws, but and presumably he suffocated. So that one, I know exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly the comic book you're talking about. And with that, there's a little bit of fuckery with that, because Wolverine didn't himself necessarily heal from a drop of blood. when it's been so long, I forget the name of the villain. When he attacked when him and Wolverine were going at it, and he basically, I think he shoved his claw hand into Wolverine's chest or something. There was this mystical or crystal of some sort that was beside them. That was the source of this. Uh, it was the source of this alien's power. And in this fight, a drop of Wolverine's blood fell on this crystal, which essentially, I'm not even going to say it supercharged his healing. It basically, the crystal, using probably the DNA from his blood, it essentially reconstituted Wolverine. That didn't have anything to do with his healing factor. That was all the crystal. So that it's not, it's a bit of a misnomer. It's not the same thing because it was the crystal that reconstituted Wolverine, not Wolverine's own healing factor that reconstituted him. Now, with Deadpool, and they have, like, in recent comics, I've been hearing that they've granted, I have not been reading comic books as of recently because I hate what they've done with comic books in general over the last umpteen years, but the one you're referencing is an old school one. But I do know that I have heard something about how Wolverine's blood has been getting used. Like he's been able to use it to transfuse into other people so he can give them like a limited amount of accelerated healing when he does like a transfusion like that. And with Deadpool, um, in the comics, like, because Deadpool has the same healing factor as Wolverine. Actually, it's probably a bit supercharged compared to Wolverine. And like with Deadpool, when he's had like body parts cut off, those body parts have grown into almond Deadpools. They did a whole comic book storyline on that. And yeah, the Logan movie was awesome. Um, it was, and that was probably, I would say, that was easily the best X-Men movie Fox ever made. Because for one very simple reason, they allowed it to be adult. They didn't try and get too comic booky with it. Because that's the thing. Back when the X-Men movies first came out, they were they were still trying to be comic booky with it. But with with Logan, which was based upon which was very, very, very loosely based upon the Old Man Logan story, um, they allowed it to be adult. It was allowed to be graphically violent. There was plenty of curse words thrown around in there. I mean, in no other movie did you get to hear Patrick Stewart as Charles Xavier saying, "Fuck you, Logan." I mean, how great is that? Uh, and honestly, it opened the door for movies like Deadpool, Deadpool 1, Deadpool 2, and now the Deadpool Wolverine, where we're going to get to see an actual badass Wolverine in what I'm guessing is somewhat his prime. Obviously, Hugh Jackman isn't as young as he used to be, so he's not going to be able to do like what he used to do back in the day. But this is a Wolverine with a non nerfed healing factor, I'm guessing, with the Deadpool and Wolverine movie. So it's going to be, I can't wait to see it. But yeah, I mean, Logan was such a fantastic movie, and I'm glad that that Ryan Reynolds and everyone else involved said, you know, we love the Logan movie. We're not fucking with that. That movie is sacrosanct, and we're not messing with that story whatsoever. Which I thought, yeah, that's one reason why I love the fact that Ryan Reynolds was doing this movie is because he's one of the few people in Marvel that actually respects the source material that they're working with. And God help me, I wish more people in Disney and Marvel would do that. So,
And I knew I was going up against Wolverine, and I only had one chance. I'm breaking out this rifle right here. This is my Christian Firearms single shot
Yes, it is. It's coming out in July. Do I? Oh, I forget when in July, but yes, it's coming out in like 2 months, and I can't wait for it.
Falling block 4-bore rifle. This is the most powerful shoulder fired rifle in the world. It is 1 inch in diameter. This thing is putting out 200 pounds of felt recoil, producing over 10,000 foot-pounds of energy. And here is the 4-bore round, and this is a custom adamantium 2,150 grain round. Deadpool, eat your heart out. That's a big old chimichanga. Oh, all right. Time to ride the lightning. Oh! Oh!
Oh my God! Yeah, that just liquidated his skull. Oh my dear God, that's insane. And that was a metal skull, too. That wasn't human bone, that was metal.
She be kicking. And if you would also like to be kicking, you can check out my She Be Kicking shirts. There's a link in the description down below that will take you to KentuckyBallistics.com. Now let's check out what's left of Wolverine. So it seems to me if you absolutely had to go to battle with Wolverine, there is nothing you should pick other than a 4-bore. I mean, it did a lot of damage. There's pieces of adamantium skull everywhere. I mean, got your nose. I saw a really big piece go that way. Let's go see what we can find. And when I say go that way, I mean it literally flew as high as those treetops. All right, I think I found it. I'm also about to find a bunch of kicks. Oh. Oh. Okay. I found his cap. So this
Look at
is
that.
the metal.
Look at the hole right here. I think this is the hole from the bullet. We. Oh,
Cap that was on the Wolverine torso. And as you can see here, we smacked it with the 4-bore. A 4-bore rifle with a 2,150 grain adamantium bullet would definitely be suitable defense against Wolverine. You know,
yeah?
he's pretty messed up. But the thing is, Wolverine can regenerate. Even with a shot like that, he can probably regenerate. And when he comes back, he is going to be so angry. So I feel like I probably need to do something to pin him down or, prevent him from coming after me.
Dot, what are you doing? What? What? Is that safe?
Well, that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I had a ton of fun today. If you did enjoy it, do me a favor and give it a like. And if you're not subscribed to Kentucky Ballistics, do yourself a favor and hit that subscribe button. Also, be sure and check me out on all social media platforms. Links to all those can be found in the description down below, along with a link to KentuckyBallistics.com, just in case you want to pick up a shirt. And as always, my name is Scott. Thank you so much for watching Kentucky Ballistics. I'll see you next time.
He turned him into a pancake. Oh my God. Jeez.
Yeah, you don't have a 4-bore, but you got a crane and a safe. I think you'll be all right.
Wow. Claptures, chat claptures. I'm going to post a link in the video here in the feed here if you want to go check out some more on his channel. Wow. That was, that was pretty intense.